Got some beautiful ogons down there. Yellow, my favorite water lily collection in the world. Ta-da!
Some of our leaves were a little over 6 foot this year, but you know, I think 8 foot might be the record.
I got to give you a perspective of the size of this. Look at that. Don't want to hold this? Well, those koi are lucky. How deep is this pond?
We thought it was only about 4 or 5 feet deep until we were doing that construction. It ended up this end over here is 12 feet deep.
Oh my gosh. Those are some lucky koi. Wait, let me scratch your back. It's a back scratcher. Come on. Welcome to Longwood Gardens. This is a historical public gardens in Pennsylvania, and I came here for the first time when I was this kid's age, when I was growing up in New Jersey, and I thought it was cool. And we are about to see, I'm gonna say, the best water lily collection in North America.
A swig of mine if you want. So that is Brugmansia where the flower is down. I grew Datura this year that the flower was up.
There's probably a joke there, but I won't say it. Wow, that is some artistes there. Whoa, that is cool. Bamboo art. Hey, look, it's just automatically lowering. It looks like it's just a mystery light.
Yeah, they're gonna water.
So cool. Ah, so fun, huh? Pretty cool, huh?
Place is awesome.
All it needs is gorillas. So stay tuned, because I know what's right up here on the left. My favorite water lily collection in the world. Ta-da! Oh my goodness. This is called Pongai Jealousy right here. Look at that. Look at the size. That's got to be 5 feet across. Wow. So spectacular. This is why I said this is the best water lily collection in the world. These are Victoria water lilies. That's probably 6 feet across some of these pads. Jason, they normally hold babies, right? I bet you that'll hold you. What do you like?
I bet I could run across them.
Yeah, well, you only like lean 230, right?
Something like that.
What I love about this is the different elevation changes. You got all of the lilies in the front, and then just all of the marginal plants in the back. Lotus, papyrus, canna, thalia, taro, umbrella palm, the king of the pond. It's just, maybe I can get a job here. I've always said I didn't want to retire doing what I was doing, but maybe this is what retirement looks like, working at and trimming lilies all day and just relaxing. My wife says you won't do anything in the house, but when it comes to the outside, you can just let hours and hours melt away. And it's because of stuff like this. This is just spectacular. I do not want to leave.
What are we looking at here?
So this is our water lily display, but you're actually looking into one of the pools with the Victoria. We grow both of the wild types of water platters, and then we actually cross them to give you the hybrid, which is in our center pool. There's a hybrid known as the Victoria water platter, and in the pool behind you there are the two wild types that you'd find in South America. So the Santa Cruz water platter and the Royal water platter, and we actually cross-pollinate them to give you the hybrid, which is in the middle.
And that's how you can get the 6 foot across pads, huh?
Yeah, some of our leaves were a little over 6 foot this year, but you know, I think 8 foot might be the record.
That might even hold Jason. How many years have you been here now, Tim?
30 years.
30 years! Yeah, well, maybe, you know, you retire, I take over. I think it'll be a good exchange. Just spectacular. I say this is the most impressive water lily display in North America.
Yeah, it's a neat area. I mean, we have what a setting. I mean, you have the conservatories kind of as your background, and the little courtyard up here, and not as big as some water gardens, but we have a little over 100 different types of water lilies out here.
I know that you have Carla's Sunshine. Do you know where Carla's Sunshine is?
Carla's Sunshine.
Do you know who that's named after?
Water platter.
Okay, so it's over here somewhere?
Right there in front of you there. Half inch.
Oh, I see it. So this is named after my wife. Now,
oh, you darn, I didn't know that.
Yes, Carla Wittstock. Did you know that, Becky?
I did not.
Is that romantic? And who says a pond guy can't be romantic? I bought that at the International Water Lily and Water Garden Symposium, probably late 90s or early 2000s for one of the naming rights. So I named it Carla's Sunshine after my wife, and she liked that better than Carla's Cream. I don't think he's leaving. I think he's just sleeping in there. Why wouldn't you sleep in there if you got a water lily that beautiful to be in? Unreal. Just a spectacular example of what this hobby can be. I get inspiration every single time. Look at that. This is a night blooming lily. You can see the size of it. It's tropical. It is, let's see, what time is it? It is 2:15, and that thing is blooming. That's interesting. I've never kept that lily. I think it's because the sun isn't out that much that they're still open a little bit. Normally they open at just after dinner and stay open until about 10 a.m. Wow, look at all of the waste. I can't even pick that up, it's so sharp. Hey Logan, come here quick. Remember I said you gotta work today, right? Pick up that lily, would you please? No. What do you mean no? You don't tell your boss no. You don't wanna hold this? No. Look, I'll do it. Here, no problem. No problem.
Okay, I'll hold it. Wait, put it down and then I'll hold it.
Wait, let me scratch your back. It's a back scratcher. Come on. This is really cool. This is a cross section. Wow, that's cool. Look at that. That's a cross section of a bloom, huh? I got one in my pond. But I've never seen a cross section like that cut up. Isn't that neat? I got to give you a perspective of the size of this. Look at that. I can't even get the whole thing in my hand. Wow. Look at the size. Look at that. See, do you know why they have so many thorns on them? Well, what would you guess? Just guess. You're a smart kid.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, do you?
I'm the pond guy. I know everything. It's because it's for the little animals to climb up.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. It's for protection. They don't want things to eat it in the Amazon. I'm Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy. This is my channel, Greg Wittstock, the Pond Guy, and I'm touring around Pennsylvania with Jason Turpin Landscapes, and visiting your very best customers, right?
Absolutely.
How you doing, sir?
Todd Heavener, nice to meet you, Greg.
Hey, Todd. So this is a newer pond, right?
Yeah, 1 year.
Okay. This is fantastic. Where is it?
Take a walk. Right on back.
So how did this all come about?
So actually the pond's been here since 1990 when they built the house.
And you moved in and...
we moved in about 12 years ago. And it was basically kind of just almost like a retention pond with a little bit of landscaping around it. And we kept sort of fixing up the house to do our style with the different flower beds and stuff. We got down to the pond and did the landscaping, which we're pretty good with. And we ended up having this, we called it our Shrek pond.
Oh, green algae and
green algae, duckweed, just basically pea soup as a mess. We realized we don't know what we're doing with the water side, so that's when we started looking around for some pond contractors, and then we found Jason. He came out and took a look at it and gave us some ideas, and we fell in love with the concept, and they turned the concept into the reality you see here.
This thing was an existing hole, water, duckweed and everything across the top. This one is still dirt bottom. We did
okay, so it's an earthen pond.
Earthen pond, yep. We put up rocks all around the outside. Did a constructed wetland to clear the water up. It always has a little bit of a murky-ish look because
it's dirt, yeah, and the fish, and you got big fish in there.
Exactly. Put big fish in, gave them a spot with the patio. How many tons of rock we bring in, Todd?
Like 122 ton of large boulders, like eight dump truck loads.
Almost a 250,000 pounds.
Yeah. When we went to put the first rock in, we thought everything was about 5 feet, 4 feet deep,
Yeah,
3 feet deep.
4 or 5 feet deep.
Dropped the rock in and it just disappeared.
Because it was so much mud.
Deep. Yep. So much mud and just
So what did you end up doing?
put another rock on top.
Ah,
We
okay.
did dredge some of it out. We did build up some different things. Did a wetland filter and then an intake bay.
Well, I can tell you one thing. It's very tranquil. How do you enjoy it?
Oh, we love it. We sit down here all the time, a couple of beers or wine at the end of the day, and just lose ourselves listening and watching this. We're right on a larger creek over here, a bit of a wetland adjacent to our pond. So we get tons of natural waterfowl. We have mallard ducks that come in every spring. We have several snapping turtles that come in here.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah,
Oh, it's an earthen pond.
Yeah. It's there's one big mama turtle that we see every other year or so.
Uh-huh.
And just 2 weeks ago, I saw one of the little adolescent snapping
Yes,
turtles,
isn't
about
that
3-4
cute? It's
inches.
nature.
Yeah.
Nature at home.
Oh yeah.
Neat house too, big house.
Thank you.
When you look out those windows
Yeah.
and everything.
Just sit there on the porch.
Right onto the waterfalls.
Wow. Just spectacular. And that seat has my name all over it, buddy.
So we put some stepping stones down through here. We did an intake bay. As that water's coming down in here, everything's being pulled across and into our intake bay. You can see this is full of leaves. They're starting to fall off the tree. Our pumps are housed in here as well. And this basin always has water in it. This pond is always a consistent level, but it was such a murky mess that we had to completely drain it in order to get the rocks in and scoop out some of the muck. And after we did that, it always just looks nice and clean across the top. Over here is the wetland filter, and all those nutrients are coming up. It's just at that time of year the plants are starting to peter out a little bit. We got different waterfalls coming down, just oxygenating everything.
You got some beautiful ogons down there. Yellow. Were they in here originally?
No, actually, it was kind of an interesting story. We ended up adopting the fish through one of Turpin's other customers. They unfortunately were moving and couldn't take their fish and wanted to make sure they found a good home. So Turpin kind of provided the adoption service between us and the other customer. And
Well, those koi are lucky. How deep is this pond?
so we thought it was only about 4 or 5 feet deep until we were doing that construction, and they had all that muck, and they brought in a larger excavator and scooped it out, and it ended up this end over here is 12 feet deep.
Oh my gosh. Those are some lucky koi. And then it flows down there, so that's where the intake bay is down there?
Correct. And
Okay.
then it's all natural wetlands and marsh area over here behind us.
Well, Jason, why don't you show us how this works?
So we have so many ponds here in Chester County, Pennsylvania, that are just murky and green and you don't want to be near them. They're mosquito infested, and it's just amazing what a wetland will do in order to eliminate all those mosquitoes and nastiness and clear that water right up.
So how has this pond increased your time outside from when it was just a lagoon?
Oh, well, not so much changing our time outside, but changing what we do with our time outside massively. So we would often just be working around different parts of the yard. We now, when we're not working, we're sitting right here enjoying this.
When I saw
watching the
these
fish
chairs,
and-
I'm like, I'm sitting down.
Yep.
Yeah, this is just so relaxing. And what I love about it is, it's an earthen bottom pond, but it's natural and you get nature coming in. And it's just spectacular. And the sound of that waterfalls, so relaxing. And I love the plants. I wouldn't change a thing.
Like you said, working with nature, we're spring fed. We're connected to a wetland that's connected to a creek that's part of the watershed. So we're part of the whole natural watershed.
Well, you
not
said
just
when
minor.
you were in here, it took a day and a half to fill up just from the ground up.
Yeah.
It's 12 foot deep.
Yep.
That's a lot of water.
A lot of water.
The springs roll in like a small fire hose in the springtime when the water table is pretty high. And actually, it was interesting when they had it pumped down, we could see the whole bank display just like sweating and just water trickling in the bowl on all sides.
Right. Well, not too many people are blessed to have an earthen pond on their property, but the fact that you've now added the decorative element and made it so that it is an enjoyable part by working with Turpin, I gotta love it, buddy.
Thank you.
And thanks for subscribing.
Absolutely.